Founder Acharyas, Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
Hare Krishna. We are very happy to have association of His Grace Kripa Nidhi Prabhu. So Kripa Nidhi Prabhu is disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He came in Krishna consciousness way back in February 1972 in Vancouver, Canada. Later on, he met Prabhupada in Portland, Oregon, and in June 1972, he got initiated by Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada gave him name Kripa Nidhi. So, Prabhuji, since then he has been very actively involved in assisting in spreading Krishna conscious movement. For 11 years, he served in Brahmacharya Ashram, and as Brahmachari, he traveled in USA and Canada, distributing Srila Prabhupada books. Later on, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj requested him to help in preaching in Delhi. So he came to Delhi, and from 1983 to 89, he helped in preaching in Delhi. He was involved in preaching in IIT Delhi, JNU, Delhi University, and other colleges in Delhi. He also then later on got involved with some services with Bhaktivedanta Institute, along with His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami Maharaj and Rasrajpu and other devotees. And as part of service, he then met many Nobel laureates and helped them to understand the wonderful contribution of Srila Prabhupada and some of them very favorably inclined to Prabhupada and our ISKCON movement. Later on in 1989, he went back to Canada, where he started preaching in one of the most famous universities in Canada, McGill University. We know that Bhaktivinoda Thakur sent his book all over the world in important cities and important universities. Bhaktivinoda Thakur had sent a book, These Teachings of Lord Chaitanya and his life and precepts to McGill University. So he was instrumental in developing wonderful preaching there in McGill University, organized a club and inspired many youngsters to join Hare Krishna movement. And last couple of years now he is based in Mayapur. In Mayapur also he has a team of international devotees who he has organized for distributing Srila Prabhupada books. Also, though he is staying in Mayapur, he also continues inspiring many youths in Krishna consciousness. Especially, he likes to connect or talk on these topics of science and religion, how to synthesize and how to promote Krishna consciousness and defeat atheism and materialism. So, we are very happy to have him here. So, let us welcome he and his good wife to our Shri Shintai Gauranga temple by loudly chanting 3 times. Haribo, Haribo. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Haribo. A lot of enthusiasm here. So you're all in university, or are you in the University of ISKCON? Very nice. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskricha. Naram Chayeva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Tatorjayam Udirayat. Nasta Prayeshu Avadeshu. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from the chapter entitled Lord Balaram Slays Rukmi, 10th Canto, chapter 61, 13 to 18, describing the wives of Krishna. So I'll just read the English until we get to 18. The sons of Nagnijiti were Vira, Chandra, Ashvasena, Chitragu, Vigavan, Vrisha, Ama, Shanku, Vasu, and the opulent Kunti. Shruta, Kavi, Vrisha, Vira, Subahu, Bhadra, Shanti, Darsha, and Purnamasa were sons of Kalindi. Her youngest son was Somaka. Madra's sons were Pagosh, Gatravan, Sima, Bala, Prabala, Urdhaga, Mahashakti, Saha, Oja, and Aparajita. Mitravinda's sons were Vrika, Harsha, Anila, Gridra, Vardhana, Unada, Mahansa, Pavana, Vani, and Shudi. Sangramajit, Brihatsena, Sura, Praharana, Arijit, Jaya, and Subhadra were the sons of Bhadra, together with Vama, Ayur, and Satyaka. Today's verse. Diptimams Chamrataptadya Rohinyas Tanaya Hare Pradyumnach Chani Rudodbud Rukmavatyam Mahabala Putriyam tu Rukmino Rajan Namna Boja Kate Pure Diptimam Stamrataptadya Rohinyas-tanaya Hare Pradyumnach Chanarodo Bud Rukmavatyam Mahabala Putriyam tu Rukmino Rajan Namna Boja Kate Pure Itimam Stamratap Apya Hare Mahabala Putriyam tu Rukmino Rajan Namna Boja Kate Pure Dipimam Stamrataptadya Rohinyas-tanaya Pradyumnach Chani Rudo Bud Rukmavatyam Mahabala Putyam tu Rukmino Rajan Pure Diptimam Stamrataptadya Rohinyas-tanaya Pradyumnach Chani Rudo Bud Rukmavatyam Mahabalaha Putriyam tu Rukmino Rajan Namna Boja Kate Pure Anyone else? Tamrataptadya Rohinyastanayade Pradyumnach Panirudo Bud Rukmavatya Mahabalaha Putriyam tu Rukmino Rajan. Any ladies like to try? Dipyamams Tamrataptadya Rohinyastanayade Pradyumnach Panirudo Bud Rukmavatya Mahabalaha Turukmino Rajan Namna Boja Kate Pure. Anyone else? Diptiman Tamratapta Dya Diptiman Tamratapta and others. Rohinyaha of Rohini, chief of the remaining 16,108 queens. Tanayaha, sons. Harehe, of Lord Krishna. Pradyumnat, from Pradyumna. Cha, and Aniruddha, Abud, was born. Rukmavatyam, in Rukmavati. Mahabalaha, greatly powerful. Putriyam, in the daughter. To, indeed, Rukminaha, of Rukmi. Rajan, O King Pricket. Namna, by name. Bojakate Pure, in the city of Bojakata. Rukmi's domain. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Diptiman Tamratapta and others were the sons of Lord Krishna and Rohini. Lord Krishna's son, Pradyumna, fathered the greatly powerful Aniruddha in the womb of Rukmavati, the daughter of Rukmi. O king, this took place while they were living in the city of Bojakata. Bojakata? Please repeat. Diptiman, Tamratapta, and others were the sons of Lord Krishna and Rohini. Lord Krishna's son, Pradyumna, fathered the greatly powerful Aniruddha in the womb of Rukmavati, the daughter of Rukmi. O king, this took place while they were living in the city of Bojakata. Lord Krishna's 8 principal queens are Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati, Nagnajiti, Kalindi, Lakshmana, Mitravinda, and Bhadra. Having mentioned all their sons, Sukadeva Goswami now refers to the sons of the other 16,100 queens by mentioning the 2 principal sons of Queen Rohini, the foremost of the remaining queens. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyana Gyana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Gena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, Prabhupada wanted to give us the 10th canto before he left the planet. And so, in the late 60s, early 70s, he did a summary called the Krishna book, volumes. There were 2 volumes, volume 1 and volume 2. I think Nityananda Prabhu, my dear god brother, is probably witness to that production. What year was that? 70. Okay. Around 70, yeah. And, Prabhupada's words are embellished with the dust from Krishna's lotus feet. So this is the end of Dwapara Yuga. Many demigods appear in the Yadu dynasty to associate with Lord Krishna. In Dwarka, he builds, as we know, 16,108 palaces. He has 161,080 sons, and he has 16,108 daughters. So it's a vast genealogical pool that he has here. And we know that Pradyumna is actually, in the previous life, was Madan. And Lord Shiva's wife Parvati wanted some children. So she asked Madan to throw some arrows at Shiva. We know that Lord Shiva burned him with his third eye and annihilated him. Anyway, Pradyumna comes again as the son of Krishna and Rukmini. And it's interesting to note that at the end of Dwapara Yuga in these times, Krishna has appeared, and many, many powerful demons appeared on the planet. The Daivata, the Danavas. And some of them, although they're demons, some of their children are marrying into Krishna's family. For example, Aniruddha was living in Dwarka, and the daughter of Banasura, who was the son of Bali Maharaj, was actually a great devotee, although he's the grandson of who? Hiranyakashipu. So we see that the demons are taking birth, and devotees are taking birth in demoniac families, like Prahlad, son of Hiranyakashipu. Narada Muni preached to his mother up in his ashram, and Prahlad Maharaj, one of the great Mahajans, came forth. And then Prahlad's son or grandson, Bali Maharaj, grandson. His seminal guru, Sukracharya. Sukra means semina. So he was a family guru, like there's so many family gurus here in India. But they're not really transcendentalists. So Bali Maharaj was being discouraged to surrender to Lord Vamandev. Oh, what? Be careful, that's Lord Vishnu. He's going to steal everything from you. Prabhupada actually quoted this verse because he had his pharmaceutical business, and then Krishna arranged for everything to be lost. Krishna had big plans for Srila Prabhupada. So Krishna, Lord Vamanadev, had some very big plans for Bali Maharaj also. Bali Maharaj is one of the 12 Mahajans, right? So similarly, Prabhupada quoted the verse, Yasyaham anugrinami hanise taddanam tatodanam chijanti asya swajana dukkha dukhitam. If Krishna really loves you, then he takes everything away from you. He's known as Hari, one who takes everything away. So he took away Srila Prabhupada's business, Prabhupada became quite impoverished at the time, and he quoted this verse that Krishna must have some plan for him. And in that verse, it describes that when Krishna takes away your wealth and your influence, that all your relatives and friends, they suddenly disappear. Prahlad Maharaj also says, Tato vimukha chetasa indriyartam maya sukaya baharam udvahato vimudan, that people are bewildered by society, friendship, and love. Bara. Bara comes from a Sanskrit root, which means society, friendship, and love. That my family loves me, my people, my society, I'm a big man in society. They all love me. I give in charity. These are all different types of knots in the heart. Pumsos trio maitani bhava metam tayoreva hridaya granti mahu. The knot gets bigger and bigger. My wife, my children, my estates. Like this, we become very entangled here in this material world, trying to enjoy it. So we see that some of Krishna's in-laws, his granddaughter-in-law is Usha, daughter of a very big, powerful demon, Banasura. He got a benediction to have 1,000 arms, and he didn't know what to do with them. His arms were always itching, Prabhupada writes in the Krishna book. Oh, I need to, he would go and destroy mountains. And he actually got the benediction that he could play drums for Lord Shiva when he was dancing the dance of devastation. So he was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. So Prabhupada says demoniac persons, they like to worship the demigods because they have so many material desires. Kamastaista ritagyana prapadente niva devata. They worship these demigods to get some temporary benefits. So here in Kolkata, West Bengal, very fond of worshiping Kali Ma, and she can give some material benefits. But she is a pure devotee of the Lord. So actually all those things they're offering to her, she won't take them. She's she's the wife of Lord Shiva. She's Uma. She's Parvati. She's has so many names. She's the energy of Lord Krishna. So like this, Banasura was very angry when he found out that Aniruddha was involved with Usha, his daughter, and a big fight broke out. And Krishna came on the battlefield. He fought with Lord Shiva, right? And his Narayan Shwar defeated the Lord Shiva Shwar. Lord Shiva Shwar is very hot, 12 times the heat of the sun. Time of devastation, burns up the entire universe. But Lord Krishna Narayan Shwar is superior. So the Jiva Shwar came and offered respects. So many demoniac persons like Duryodhan, he had a daughter named Lakshmana, and Krishna's son was a bit of a spoiled boy. His name was Samba, one who was always with his mother. That was Jambavati's son. He decided to kidnap Lakshmana. And of course, Duryodhana and the Kauravas came and started insulting Lord Balaram. Balaram came to try and do some reconcile with the cousins of the Pandavas. So we see that within families, even, the Pandavas, they're nephews of the Kauravas, and yet the Kauravas exhibited so many demoniac qualities. Krishna had them all killed. So we see the end of Dwapara Yuga, there's this intertwining of demons and devotees. And Krishna, he destroys Jarasanda's army 17 times. Rivers of blood are described. Of course, we love to hear about blood and gore and heroic activities and, also romance. So Krishna supplies all these activities to us. He kidnaps Rukmini, and then goes to Shishi Gorni Tai. Hare Krishna. such offering, an opening. Ishigornitai ki. Lord Nityananda, Lord of Ekachakra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I'm always wondering if Gornitai walked through this area here, right here, on their way to Puri. But all the devotees from West Bengal would go to Puri. I was always wondering if their footsteps are around here somewhere. And Panihati, how far is Panihati from here? 45, very close. There's big pastimes there with Raghunath Das Goswami and Lord Nityananda put his lotus feet on his head. So we have to pray. We somehow can get some mercy from Lord Nityananda, the Adi Guru. So Jarasandha had this huge army and so many Akshohini divisions, but he was demoniac. He was the father-in-law of Kans. His two daughters were married to Kans. And of course, Kans was a big demon. He was killing babies in Vrindavan. So these Danavas appeared here, and now Krishna has to, Pritranaya sadhanam vinashay chaduskridam, he has to kill all these demons. So what to do in the age of Kali? Even here, Prabhupada's birthplace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is here. These are great, great acharyas, great personalities. So many demoniac activities are going on. So Krishna, out of his mercy, decided, well, I can't kill everyone. Prayana Parisha Shabda Kalir Asmin Yuge Janaha Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagyahi Upadruta. People are so degraded, just 5,000 years, and already Kali Yuga has degraded the human beings so much. The people here, even where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was walking and Lord Nityananda Mahaprabhu was living, that they're killing cows. They're killing the mother of society, the cow. It's described that when Yudhishthira Maharaj was on the planet, Kama Vavarsha Parjanya, Sarva Kama Dugamahi, that when Lord Yudhishthira Maharaj was ruling this area, this whole Bharatvarsha area, that the mountains, Kama Vavarsha Parjanya, the rains, the clouds were giving abundant amounts of water. Parjanya, lots and lots of rain was coming, crops were flourishing, and the mountains, the oceans, the rivers, Sarvakama Dugamahi, means that the oceans and the elements were supplying diamonds and sapphires and rubies and gold, and the rivers were supplying fertilizers and pearls. I mean, Mother Bhumi was just supplying like anything, and this was a very opulent place, Bharatvarsha. And Susi Chismu, Vrajan Gava, the cows were so happy, their milk bags were irrigating all the pasturing grounds with milk. And they were so joyful, it says. This is in the first canto described, and Srila Prabhupada, then in the purport, he describes, why do we need factories and nightclubs and lawless activities? There's sufficient food grains, there's sufficient milk products being supplied by Mother Nature if we simply follow the rules of Dharma, if we simply follow Krishna's instructions. Unfortunately, we're into Dharma Siglanir, right? Idahi Dharma Siglanir. Complete destruction of religious principles going on even here in Bharatvarsha. So here, of course, Krishna is showing his wonderful opulence, so many wives. It says in the 11th canto that in Kali Yuga, it's hard to support one wife and few children. Very difficult. Manda Sumanda Matayo Prayana. We're short-lived. Our brain is addled. We don't have very good brain substance anymore. Memory is lost. Physical strength is lost day by day. This is going on. I mean, I was just reflecting that 500 and 37 or what years ago, Kashmir Pandit came to challenge Nimai Pandit in Navadvipdam, which was a big intellectual center in India. And just like in a moment, he simply composed 100 glorification poetry about Mother Ganga. That was just a few hundred years ago. Such a brilliant person, such a empowered by Saraswati. And now who can do that? Who can do that? Now we're becoming IT engineers in India. So Srila Prabhupada wanted to create a army of Brahmins, intellectuals, samadamas tapasocham shantir arjavamevacha jnana vijnana ashtikam brahma karma. Means simple living, high thinking, basically. And by practicing bhakti yoga, Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayanti te. The one who becomes my devotee, he's more than a Brahmin, actually. Far more than a Brahmin. Tat karma nipanom mantra tantra visharada avaishnavo na satguru vaishnavanam swapachro guru. And Bhakti Siddhanta, of course, started initiating people from all castes, Sudra caste, Vaishya caste, not just Brahmin caste. The Brahmins have ruined the whole Daivi Varnashram system. So Prabhupada wanted to create those who are simple, who are developing devotional service, and Desham Agam Charjam Aham Nasham Atmi Atma Bhavastu Jnana Deepena. And Krishna from within the heart gives us the light of knowledge. And of course, Krishna chastised Arjuna. Asochan anvasochas tvam pragyavadam shavasa. Say, nowadays these sadhus, they're busy serving the body. But Krishna chastised Arjuna. Why are you serving the body? Why are you lamenting and sympathizing with the opposite party? They're on the wrong side of Dharma. Gatasu na gatasu cha. And he said, one who understands Brahman, he knows the difference between the living and the dead, right? So that's what we're trying to establish throughout the world. That until you come to the understanding that you're a soul within the body, right? You're not this body, and that you're an eternal servant of Krishna, and you become Vaishnava, then Swanustita Pumsam Vishvaksena Katasuyat Mutadayat Yadiratim Shrama Evi Kevalam. All these activities that they're doing nowadays, building rockets and all these things, this all comes under the title of Ugra Karma, or activities in the mode of ignorance, industry, technology. They're very proud of all these things. But their intellect is stolen by Maya or illusion. And they're wasting the human form of life. They have so many zeros, but Prabhupada said you have to put a 1 in front. So we try to teach them, yeah, you can do whatever your guna and karma is. However, you have to understand who you are and what the purpose of your life is, right? How to love Krishna. Pramanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena. So Krishna is so merciful, he killed so many demons. Actually, Bhaumasura, he had captured 16,000 princesses from all over India. 16,000, locked them up. And then he had a big castle surrounded by electric wires and poison and a big moat. You know what a moat is? It's like a canal surrounding his fortress. And he had these princesses locked up. So Krishna thought, I'll come and I'll take care of that. I'll save them and make them my wives. So he killed the Mura demon, right? Murari Krishna, who had how many heads? 3 heads? 5 heads? 5 heads, I think. Cut them off with the Sudarshan chakra. Then Shalva, he worshipped Lord Shiva to have a big, big airplane. This huge airplane that could disappear at will, could be in the land, in the ocean. Such a powerful, mystical airplane. And he came to challenge Krishna in Dwarka. And nice big fight with Shalva. And then Shalva was attacking Krishna with a club, and Krishna cut his hand off. He was so angry. And then Shalva's brothers came. This way, Krishna was killing all these powerful demons, whether in Vrindavan or in Mathura or Dwarka. He was killing demons all over the place. He's very merciful because now he comes in the mood of a great devotee, his greatest devotee. Who is that? Radha, Aradhananam, from the word Aradhanam. She's worshiping Krishna with every fiber in her body. Who has more devotion than Radharani? So, Krishna in the mood of Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this mood is constantly in the mood of serving Krishna. He goes to Jagannath Puri, and he becomes overwhelmed by ecstatic love of God. He's tasting the love that Radha has for him. He couldn't fathom. He had a hard time fathoming this love. And of course, Vrindavana Parichaja Padamekam Nagdigachati. When he's supposedly leaving Vrindavan with Akrura, him and Balaram actually go in the water and they display the form of Vishnu and Anantashesh. So they're showing that now they're transforming from Nandana Krishna to Vasudeva Krishna and Vasudeva Balaram. So Krishna never takes a step out of Vrindavan. He's always in Vrindavan, whether in his prakash or aprakash form, manifest, unmanifest. And because the inhabitants of Vrindavan 24 hours a day are always remembering Krishna, they never forget Krishna. So they're tasting the highest mood of love of God, which is separation. Because they're always discussing Krishna's pastimes. Oh, look, he killed Putana. He sucked her poisoned breasts and killed her and sent her back to the Goloka Vrindavan, where she's a maidservant of Mother Yashoda. And then he killed Trinavarta. And they're always talking about Krishna lifting Govardhan Hill. Krishna curbing the pride of Indra. The great king of the heavenly planets came down angrily. Why are you now worshiping me? You should worship me. So Krishna curbed his pride. Even Lord Brahma came to test the power of Krishna. Sarvasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shriyate Swabhavaki Gyana Bala Kriyacha. Krishna is omnipotent. He's incredibly omnipotent. So while reading these pastimes, we have to understand that Krishna is having these wonderful pastimes here on this planet once in a day of Brahma, which is 4,300,000,000 solar years. And the demons in this Kali Yuga, they're saying God is dead, life comes from molecules, there was some genetic mutation, and natural selection gave us all the species of life. It's completely lies. They can't even demonstrate it. And now more and more this so-called materialistic Brahmins, they call themselves Boston Brahmins. They're the atheistic scientists. They assume the position of authority in society today. Everyone is scientific. But actually, Bhakti Yoga is the science, the highest science, because it gives us pure love of God, even beyond the 5 types of moksha. Like some yogis are trying to get moksha. They want to go to Vaikuntha, or the Jnanis, they want to merge with Krishna's Brahman effulgence. Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasya vyasya cha. Krishna says, I am the Pratishta. I'm the foundation of this Brahman effulgence. So why are you worshiping my Brahman? And then Prabhupada mentions in many places, for example, when the 4 Kumaras are instructing Prithu Maharaj in the 4th canto, Prabhupada said this pursuit of Brahman, it's a kind of transcendental enterprise, but 99.9% of those who even attain Brahman realization fall back down. Arukachena Parampadam Tata Patanti Ado Nadrita Yushmadangraya. Why? Because they haven't tasted the nectar of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, the son of Maharajnanda and the son of Vasudeva Devaki. The Supreme Lord's lotus feet are very sweet, and his holy name are even sweeter. He's invested all his potencies in his holy name. Unfortunately, our Sukadeva Goswami says, certainly that heart is steel framed, which doesn't taste the nectar of the holy name while chanting Hare Krishna. Tears do not come to the eyes, and the hairs, Pulaka Nishita, means the hairs don't stand on end while chanting the holy name. Our hearts must be steel framed. This is the second canto, right, of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the nectar that Krishna comes to give us in the age of Kali, because we're so unqualified. No quality. We're just covered by passion and ignorance, basically. And everyone's imitating. I come to India and I say, everyone's imitating America, the Americans. Everyone. They want to have SUVs. They want to have minivans. They want to have nice apartments. And Prabhu is telling us, you should go and live on a farm, protect the cows, and build. He told us, even in America, he says, take some mud, some trees, and build a home from indigenous materials like clay and mud, cob homes. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Don't use tractors. He said tractors are ruining India. So this is Srila Prabhupada's vision. And then, of course, he's saying that this pursuit of materialism will end in failure, right? We know, and Rupa Goswami mentions in the Nectar of Devotion, that this pavarga, that the goal of life is apavarga. And pavarga means materialist struggles. Pa comes from the word parishrama, which means hard struggle, hard struggle. So everyone's going to work here. Prabhupada says at breakneck speed. Sometimes they come all the way from Navadvip to work in Kolkata on these trains full of people, noise. They're all crammed together to make some money. So parishrama, hard labor. People are working. Why? I said just join the Hare Krishna movement. Krishna supplies. Yoga Kshemam Vahami. I'll give you whatever you need. Protect whatever you have. He promises in the Gita to Arjuna, to everyone. He supplies some chapatis, some nice curd, paneer, dahi, that sweet you have here in Bengal, nice sweets, misti dahi. Like that. Why this horrible ugra karma going on? Etam justam avastabhya nastalpamuta buddhaya prabhavanti ugra karma nashaya jugato hitaha. In the 16th chapter, Krishna is warning that this pursuit of demoniac activities, materialistic activities, actually is not neutral. If you pursue materialistic advancement, you will become agnostic. Your brain will be submerged in manipulating molecules so you can, go to Hong Kong and buy some chicken. That's all they do. I can go faster, I can go quicker, I can get more, but there's a downside to that. We're destroying the environment. Every time they turn on that jet, I used to work at LA airport, Los Angeles, so many jets coming in. Devotees are just reading books. And you can't even see the sun. It's so much pollution that when you can look at the sun like that, the orange ball, because there's so much fumes. Then people wonder, cancer. Everyone's dying of cancer. Prabhavanti ugra karmana. There's always a payment, a consequence of our materialistic pursuits. Genetic engineering. And then people, why so much cancer? Why so much heart disease? Why so many diseases coming? It's a direct relationship to all our trying to exploit this world. Adanta Gobir Vishatam to Mishram. Prahlad Maharaj tells his father. Grihavrata. These are Grihavrata people. They take a vow to try and enjoy this world. You can't enjoy it. Dukalayam is full of misery. So Krishna is showing us how wonderful society can be. He places Maharaj Yudhishthira as a king of the entire world. And Maharaj Yudhishthira performs the Rajasuya Yagyas, Aswamedha Yagyas. That's in Dwapara Yuga. Dwaparam Paricharyayam. In Dwapara Yuga, the process of self-realization is huge yagyas, Aswamedha, Rajasuya. And in Kali Yuga, Kalaryad Hari Kirtanam. You get the same benefit of performing these big yagas in Dwapara Yuga. Kaliyad Dari Kirtanam, Kaloyad Dari Kirtanam. In Kali Yuga, simply by chanting the Sankirtan, chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra under the guidance of the Guru Parampara, Brahma Gaudiya, Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, the same benefit is there. Nam Namakari Bahudan Nija Sarva Shaktis. All the potencies are invested by Lord Chaitanya in that name. So many potencies Krishna has. Just by his looking at foodstuffs, he immediately eats everything. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for some nice lunch prasadam. Mahaprabhu was saying, oh no, I'm a sannyasi, it's so much prasad. He says, you've cooked so much, how could you have made so much prasadam in such a short time? Sarvabhauma's wife was cooked so much. And Sarvabhauma said, why are you complaining? You eat 56 times in Jagannath Puri. So Sarvabhauma realized who is Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vairagya Vijanija Bhakti Yoga Shiksharsham Eka Purusha Purana. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sharira Dari. So the Supreme Lord has come in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Pambudir Yastam Aham Prapadye. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who is he? In previous yugas, he is Brihaspati, the sage of all the demigods, the guru of the demigods. Brihaspati, you know. If he did, you know, he became angry at Lord Indra one time, and without his power, without his guidance, he abandoned Lord Indra and the demigods because Indra was very arrogant, and he didn't offer his respects when Brihaspati entered the assembly. The demons defeated the demigods just by disrespecting the great Acharya, the great spiritual master. Nakatika Tobe, everything is a failure. So that is our secret, that we chant the holy names of the Lord under the guidance of the great Acharyas, follow in the footsteps of the great Acharyas given by Rupa Goswami in his Upadeshamrita, Tat Karma Pravartana. And all those instructions are given to us that we have to perform devotional service. I mean, people say, oh, we chant Hare Krishna. You have all these Apa Sampradayas in here in West Bengal. I met some of them in Mayapur. Nitai Gaur, Radhe Shyam, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Apa Sampradaya. Rupa Goswami quotes the verse in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatriki Vidir Vidam Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Upatayaiva Kalpate, that those who say they're following the Shruti and Smritis without guidance of a bona fide spiritual master become a disturbance in human society. They're misdirecting people, even though they claim to be Vaishnavas. They're not really Vaishnavas. They're taking things very cheaply. So, Yasya Deva Para Bhaktir Yata Deva Tata Guru. We have to have implicit faith in the spiritual masters. Srila Prabhupada has brought this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just like we read that Gauranga Mahaprabhu was in the Padma River waiting for Narottam Das to go there. When Narottam Das came to the river, this golden doll entered his body and empowered him to spread the bhakti movement all over India. Very empowered personality, Narottam Das. So obviously, Krishna Shakti Vinana He Tara Pravartana. No one can spread the movement the way Prabhupada did without being empowered by Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He empowered him from within the heart, pure love of God. So that he struggled across right from this port here, Kolkata, on a cargo boat, struggling, suffering heart attacks. Krishna was rowing the boat in his dream. He saw all the avatars rowing the boat. And Prabhupada got to Boston, Commonwealth Harbor, and he offered prayers to Krishna. You must have some work for me here. I don't know what. These people are so covered by Rajagun and Tamagun. They're so embroiled in the ocean of Kali Yuga. Kalir Dosha Nidhi Rajan. It's an ocean of miseries and ignorance. He says, you must have some work for me. So many, Prabhupada attracted so many young people who were disillusioned with this materialistic model, this materialistic worldview, the American dream, American nightmare. You know, Nartotaya Pakalpate, simply cultivating economic, material advancement for sense gratification, and there's absolutely no happiness there. Ehi samsparshacha boga dukkha yone evate adyanta banta kunteya na teshu ramate buddha. The intelligent person does not take pleasure in the sources of misery, which are due to one's contact, the senses and the sense objects, which have a beginning and an end. So an intelligent person avoids this materialistic pursuit. This is what the demons, they're very fond of trying to enjoy the material world, the material senses, but there's, unfortunately, it's a deep dark well. There's no happiness there. So it's wonderful that we get to hear about Krishna's great family, millions of descendants, grandsons, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and wonderful activities, heroic activities of Krishna with the demons in Dwarka, Mathura, various demons. There's one demon that imitated Vishnu, Pandraka. Was it Pandraka? Had some fake arms. Krishna and Balaram almost fell off their chariot backwards when they saw this guy claiming to be God. Nowadays, many people, Swamis, they come from India, they go to the West where you can make lots of money. Oh, we're God, you're God, everyone's God, I'm God. Nonsense philosophies. So it's our business to arm ourselves with knowledge and push back this Kali Yuga to defeat the atheistic class of people and to convert the innocent people to Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has predicted that this movement will spread all across the globe. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, when will I see Africans, Russians, Americans, Englishmen, Europeans, Chinese, all engaged in the Sankirtan movement? Yagyai Sankirtane Prayir Yajantihi Sumedasha. All glories to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Any points or questions or comments? Comments?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What's your name, Prabhu?
Yeah, my name is Tamogna Mandal.
Tamal Das.
Yeah. Tamogna. It's Tama means Tamasha, Andakar. And Agna means one who slays the darkness.
Right.
I don't know how much I will be capable. We are under the mercy of Prabhupada, and
Where's-
so let's see in the future what we can do. Prabhu.
Speak a little. I can hardly.
Yes.
I'm
Is
about half deaf.
is it clear now, Prabhu? I can ask, no?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Uh, we are all into the material fangs nowadays. Even if we are into Krishna consciousness, I am imparting lessons to the students in university, but we see that the entire students over there are being tormented with the material fangs of miseries and intoxications and all these things. Even if I try to make them understand, they really feel that these things are laid back subjects that you're trying to teach us. So how to build up this consciousness? We are under the guidance of our Siksha Guru over here. We are practicing Krishna consciousness for the last 6-7 years. So we are into the practice. We know exactly what is good for us. We have chosen our path by the mercy of Krishna. But then again, how to make them understand that what you do has to be corrected, rectified for your betterment. This is my first question, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah. How do we convince the wayward students? Yeah, I see, like in the West, in universities I preach in, USA, Canada, a lot of Indian students, tons. About 10% of them get involved in ISKCON. About 90% of them start adopting bad habits. And then they phone their parents in UP or somewhere, Punjab, somewhere, Maharashtra. Yes, Daddy, everything's good. Yes, yes. Their parents are religious, and they're doing so much nonsense. So um, it's the entire world is being covered slowly slowly but surely. But our business is to, with great determination. I don't give up. 10%. I'm happy with 10%. Indian students come and they help ISKCON. They get involved in ISKCON. And I notice a lot of times once they get married, although they were dabbling in some nonsense, they want to go to the temple with, they want their children. They're driven by the fact of their children becoming Americanized. What do the American kids do in the universities? After school, after the classes, they have campus pubs, campus drinking parlors, and they go there and have a beer and drink and associate with the, opposite and so on. But still, that because it's their culture, they think it's normal. So many of them, although they're doing these things out of habit, part of their habit, when we distribute books to them, they're always interested, although they may have some habits. Their young people in the West are very concerned about things like animal rights, huge animal rights movement, environmental movement. My godbrother, Dhananjaya here, Dayananda Prabhu, has been writing books. He's a literary person for many, many years, many, many years. And he's writing books because it's a tool by which we can bring people to Krishna consciousness. So we have to use tools. I never, when I go to the campus, I always talk about yoga. Everyone loves yoga. Yeah. I don't say, this book was spoken by God 5,000 years ago. So there's ways of tools that we use to bring kids in, young people in. They want to be part of the modern movement. They want to be part of the things. So we have to bring them in slowly. I find here in the West, in the East, in India, students, they really perk up when I start talking about the fact that the scientists have no clue how life came from matter. And then I present arguments and data. Basically, there's so much discoveries now on the complex nature of microbiology and so on. And then it sparks an interest in them. They're more intellectual here. That's why they get imported to America. Their genetic background is sages and rishis, and they're gifted with the brain from the Vedic culture. And therefore, oh, come on over to Microsoft and work for us. And we'll give you $100,000, $200,000, and we'll make billions from your brain. Prabhupada said, Svavid Brahustra Karai. So we just have to continue trying to use different tools, different bridging ways. Like Kirtan is very popular here. I find with students speaking from the point of view that atheistic theories are really have been debunked by the progress of modern science. They're actually discovering the improbability that life could have evolved from one species to the next, or the improbabilities are vastly against the chance that molecules could self-organize into a living cell. And these people that control, they're called the knowledge elites. They control what goes in textbooks these days. They themselves privately admit that, we have no clue how life could evolve from matter. But they're not allowed to say it in public or they'll be punished. They'll be persecuted, ostracized. They won't get any more grants for their research work. And therefore, they zip it up, except for a few, like Judah Karma and others, Sadhaputta and others. Even some Christian people who are scientists, they also present literature. So we have to just push. We are Prabhupada's soldiers. And the soldier, he does his duty. Prabhupada's Senapati. So we want to just please him. We make the effort and leave it up to Krishna. Obviously, Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, has a big plan for this movement. The plan is we're going to push back Kali Yuga for 10,000 years before it gets really bad. And many, many millions and millions of souls will be benefited in this age by the plan of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. After all, he's in everyone's heart by his energy. By his energy is between every atom and in every atom. That's Lord Chaitanya. He's God. So keep pushing, keep pushing. Push the envelope. Don't give up.
Thank you, Prabhu.
And maintain purity. We have two things, Pancharachari Vidhi and Bhagavad Vidhi. Don't, I'm distributing Prabhupada's books. Do you read them? Prabhupada chastises us. You're not reading my books, but you're distributing them? Remember? So we have to constantly read Prabhupada's purports. He is the overriding acharya, overriding guru of everyone. Prabhupada. Many Prabhus at his lotus feet, many gurus at his lotus feet. So his purports are embellished with the dust from Krishna's feet. In fact, Prabhupada said Krishna wrote these purports.
Prabhu, one last question, Prabhu.
Okay, because I think there's prasadam.
Yeah.
9:15.
This is on behalf of all the Grihasthas, Grihastha Bhaktas. Like I'm also a Grihastha Bhakta. Now, our Guru Maharaj is rightly speaking and telling every time to all of us that to have Krishna Prema, you need to surrender completely. You have to have complete faith and devotion. It should be unflinching faith and devotion. When you have tears in your eyes, when you do all the Vaidhi Bhakti, you should cry for Krishna. So we all are doing Vaidhi Bhakti. Sometimes the devotion comes up. We feel from our heart. Sometimes shows, sometimes it doesn't. But how to maintain that, because our ultimate goal is to go back to Golok Dham, where Branjadanand Krishna is there waiting for all of us. So how to ultimately go over there, how to develop the Nishtha, Prema, and ultimately we can cry and we can endeavor ourselves fully to Krishna, how to develop that one. Because that is the ultimate goal. Whatever we do, everybody sitting over here, that should be the ultimate aim. That is what Prabhupada is telling in every purpose, every books. But we are not developing that. We are just doing our Vaidhi Bhakti. We are doing the regular duties. We are doing Mangalaratis, Kirtanas, but how it is developing, we are not understanding. And if we develop, then we are not able to give ourselves to the material nature, material world, because they have to do our duties, their our wife, children, nurturing them, taking care of them. Again, it's getting very much disbalanced. We're not getting the ultimate satisfaction. But reading books, so it's getting a little bit bipolar with what Prabhupada is telling, our Guru Maharaj is telling, and what we are doing. So if it is Krishna Prema, then how to go and achieve it? It's a long question, Prabhu. I'm very sorry. I really, have this one.
Yeah, it's a long question. I know you're trying to convey to me the inquiry. How can we maintain a thick faith, a deep faith in the process? So we have to evaluate our Krishna consciousness, our devotions. We have to keep out motivations and dislike and disdain. So basic sincerity, and know that it's very gradual. It's not how you start the race, it's how you finish. And we have enemies like complacency, despondency. These are enemies. Oh, I've been chanting for 40 years, 30 years, 10 years. I think I'll take my foot off the gas. I'll put on some cruise control. You have cruise control here in your cars? No, don't do that. We have to constantly, like personally, I always try to think I know nothing and I'm still a very neophyte devotee and I'm just trying to get some mercy from Prabhupada. And I'm not a senior devotee. Senior devotee means like when you see someone in like this, we're doing Vedi Bhakti, which is rules and regulations. I have to force myself to wake up early and chant my rounds and go to Mangalarti. I'm still, a little more spontaneity is there, but still you have to really make an effort. And if you don't make an effort, you go, oh, I'll take a little break here. I'll go tomorrow. So you have to continuously have this feeling that I'm very unqualified and, rudimentary kind of devotee. And that I have to keep trying with great enthusiasm, utsaha nishtayat, patience and determination and confidence, and be very favorably disposed to my God brothers and my fellow devotees. That, like Chanik Pandit said, you can learn from an untouchable person. You can take gold from a dirty place, like this idea. We can learn from anyone. Even the nude bhakta, we may learn humility and mildness and so on. And always stay in the association of the Vaishnavas. Always have a favorable attitude towards all Vaishnavas, whether they're gurus, GBCs, sannyasis, grihastas, new devotees, whoever they are, always have a humble attitude. Just Sanatana Goswami, he was in Jagannath Puri, and the Pandas, they're not even very favorable to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as God. But Sanatana Goswami felt, well, I was employed by the Muslims. My name was changed, Dabir Kash, and so I'm contaminated. He felt himself he's actually a Manjari from the spiritual world, according to Kavi Karnapurna. He's Labanga Manjari. And so he would make a point of not going in front of the Simadwara gate, Jagannath Puri, the main entrance, so that if a panda came out, maybe touched him or touched his shadow even, it would be a great offense to the panda. So he would walk on the beach and he'd suffer from blisters on his feet because the sand's very hot. That pleased Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Raghunath Das Goswami decided, although he's he's Rati Manjari, exalted devotee of the Lord, he was taking rotten rice from the sewers, polishing and washing and eating, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed great favor and said, you're feasting, but you're not inviting me? Where's your character? So this is a sense of trying to be very humble in devotional service and seeing that these great stalwarts, I mean, Sanatana Goswami, great devotees came to assist Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from the spiritual world. They took such a mood of humility, feeling insignificant, putting straw in their mouth, tying ropes around their necks. We're your dog, we're your fallen souls. That's the qualification for attracting the attention of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the spiritual masters, the great acharyas. And always endeavoring to help ourselves and the fallen souls, both. Help ourselves, help other devotees, and also always try to help the fallen souls. Yari deke tarikaha Krishna upadesh shamara gyana guru hana. You're also Vardhmana Pradarshaka gurus. As soon as you go out and give one book, Bhaktisiddhanta here in Kolkata, he had a brahmachari do one book. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was so happy. He distributed one book. Nowadays, there's a devotee in Atlanta. He has 4,000 large Bhagavatam books. In a day, he breaks his record. He's from Hyderabad. What's his name? Mahanta Prabhu. It's amazing. I wonder what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, And so, yeah, that's distribution of this great knowledge, but we also have to protect ourselves. Oh yeah, you're a big distributor, your name's in lights, and then you might get a little puffed up. Hey, look at me. Don't you know who I am? I've done, 500,000 books. No, I keep thinking I'm so unqualified. This is the mercy of Prabhupada, mercy of Guru, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, mercy of the Vaishnavas. I can do a little service for Gauranga Mahaprabhu's mission and go on in this way, so at the time of death, we remember the Lord. The Lord remembers us. It's not that we have to remember Krishna. Krishna's, if we're trying our best to be humble devotees, do you think Krishna's not going to come and help us to remember him? Because it's very difficult. So many God brothers nowadays, God sisters are leaving their bodies, The throat's all choked up. You can't say anything. You can't speak. So much mucus in your throat. Your mind's going crazy. Your body's just breaking down. And you have to remember the lotus feet of Krishna and Radha. So hopefully Krishna, please come and help me. Time waits for no man, So we have to know that we're all fallible soldiers in our way. We're all mortal beings. Hare Krishna, all glory to Prabhupada.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. His Grace Kripa Nidhi Prabhu ki jai.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the Newtown Village Yatra. Hare Krishna.